Pit Master. All right. I'm going to work a little more with the combination of our basic techniques, Kaji Kempo, Hawaiian Kempo, MMA, etc. Now you're turning it into a life or death situation. A lot of the techniques you could still use, just modify it a little for the street. A lot of techniques are like that, including chokes and eye gouging, etc., eye pokes. But one thing that is like guys like to have the upper hand, right? In MMA, and when they do it, they can either train harder or they can cheat and take steroids and stuff. That's it. Because they're not. That's all they're allowed to do is use their hands. We, on the street, we can have a weapon. So I'm gonna show you guys the most basic boxing, kickboxing, MMA technique with a knife. The jab. How would you use the jab? It doesn't make sense, but let me show you. I use the jab with my favorite grip first, which is the inside grip, so I can hide it better and I have more control over it, but I don't have as many options. But one option I do have is turning my wrist just a little bit and hitting with a jab. You're not stabbing them and you're not slicing them. You're kind of doing a combination of both. And if you don't think this will work, if you really don't think this will work, get a buddy with a sharp knife and let him do it to you and see how that feels. And see if it maybe would slow you down if you were an attacker. I'm willing to bet it would, because you got a sharp edge of the blade right here and the point right here. And when you stick it out there as a jab, you're focusing on the blade part, so you're at least you're cutting them. Now, if you turn it a little more, you might poke it right in their eye. You can do a lot of damage with this technique while not giving up that much hip, or you're not becoming that vulnerable because you're just using your jab out there. And I think it's going to be effective. I'm not going to try it. I've worked it with in training and stuff with training blades. I'm not going to try it. And most knife fighters, the techniques they show you, they never tried it in a real fight, right? Or else they'd be cut all up. So I'm willing to bet this would work. If you don't think it would, like I said, give it a shot with a real knife. I bet you I'm right. So the basics jab, just like this. See, I'm just hitting him right here, and when I come back, I'm pulling a little bit. So it's a little bit of a slice. It's also a little bit of a slice while I'm going forward. And you're also hitting the eye. If you can notice, I'm hitting the eye. Okay? So I can hit him right there in the eye while I'm jabbing. Can you imagine getting, even if it just touches like a 10th of an inch, a 16th of an inch in your eyeball with a knife? That guy's going to stop. That's going to incapacitate him. Right? I probably wouldn't do that many jabs to the stomach, even though I'm going to jab all over. And a lot of my jabs, I'm just going to hit with my head. But then when I turn it a little bit, that's when I start going for the face, okay, and the eyes. Now you got this hand, you got these knees. Make sure you're protecting something, right? If he has a knife too, you always want to make sure, you want to protect yourself, obviously. But this, I feel like the jab with the blade like this is a really good, I think it's a really good technique. I think it would be very effective. And like I said, if any of you guys want to try it, please video it for me and send it to me. Thanks, guys. Make sure to live clean, whatever that means to you. Train hard, whatever that means to me. And don't let anyone take your lunch money, ever. All right? Thanks for coming, guys.